Alright, we are here at this Dollar General in Curtis, and this pump is malfunctioning. It's losing pressure and then kicking in consistently, but not maintaining pressure. The digital gauge is reading, watching it fluctuate. The manager has said that they lose pressure completely, and then it reads the error code of F09, which means low pressure cutoff. So, and I'm not seeing a pressure tank here within the building. The water is so yeah, it's misbehaving. I'll have to do some research to find out why it's doing what it's doing. This is the water pressure that's coming from the mop sink. And you can tell it's fluctuating. I can see the numbers right now from where I'm standing. It goes down to nothing, starts picking back up, and then it's going to start dropping again, and then it starts losing pressure. So instead of maintaining 60 psi, it's going up and then going down. It's not giving me a trouble code right now, other than it's not maintaining pressure. I'm going to see if I can restart the system and see what that does. Like, the fan is having a hard time keeping up to keep the system cool as it cycles. And now it's staying on. And it's actually maintaining some. It's currently set at 10 motor overload setting, which is set for 12.2 amps. Looks like these switches are all to the left, which are pump stop sensitivities on high, dry well sensitivities on high, low pressure cutoff is on, and then 5 psi to 20 psi pressure drop start is on. Max is 60 psi. Alright, we shut the power off to the system, waited a couple minutes and rebooted it. You could hear the water draining back out of the system, and now there's air actively sucking into the system back into the pump, and it won't turn back on. Started the F03 start, now it's starting back up. That's got zero pressure. A lot of air in the lines. Alright, the cold water is still on. So we're back at where we were before. Where it's cycling once again, but not maintaining pressure. Which leads me to believe what it says on the instructions, that there's gas or air in well water, that the pump needs to be lowered. So this will have to be serviced by the pump installer. Just had to bleed the air out of the lines in here. You could hear that trickling down. No pressure at all on the cold on that side. See, the mixing valve under here is more than likely bad, not allowing water pressure to get through here. Alright, the mixing valve is open all the way. We're here in one of the restrooms, and so the mixing valve has gone bad. We do have some hot water pressure. We have hot water. It's going to fluctuate with the saltiness of the pump in the back. But we don't have cold water pressure on this side, because the mixing valve, which I just opened up all the way, is bad. Alright, this is the other restroom. We have hot water and we have cold water. The mixing valve on this side is good. Fluctuating in pressure. So this mop sink does not have a mixing valve on it. The hot water regulates between 35 and 60 psi, pushing through but it's getting air in the line somewhere. So when we go to the cold gets no pressure, just like the front restroom, but there is no mixing valve here whatsoever, because the other front restroom has just fine water pressure. This is leaking water from the bottom of this valve here. Theoretical that it is getting air in through there, and it's not allowing it to shut off. You can hear air coming into the pipes from somewhere. We shut the water off to isolate this to see why that keeps running and fluctuating. We have cold water pressure up to here. It's going to fluctuate more and more, less and less as the pump builds. But it looks like it's somewhat maintaining from there. Lots of air in the line. So that tells me the pump needs to be dropped. So we're going to just bleed this line here. We're going to empty that and just keep doing that until it stops doing it. If it doesn't stop doing it, it means the well pump physically needs to be dropped. And that should maintain pressure without a draw on it. Okay, it's maintaining pressure at between 50 and 60 now, directly from here. So the pump's working, it's maintaining pressure. Feels like all the air's out of it for now. Now we're going to take that nut off the cold water supply line on the mop sink and see if there's debris blocking it. Alright, we are successfully... We were bleeding it. And then we got the F09 low pressure cutoff warning that came in when we had this wide open draining into the mop sink. This actual housing has a crack in the brass right here, which I think is what is allowing air to get back in the line. This is a special order item. You can see the pinholes right there. Right there and right there. It's allowing air to get back into the line. So we reset the system after we ran that, and it's maintaining pressure. We're going to bleed the air out of it again. So I think we have multiple factors going on here. We have this part has a pinhole leak crack in it, allowing air to get back into the system. We have the well, which I believe needs to be dropped. It's not high enough, so it's getting air in the system from the other end as well. We have blockages within the mop sink, which we just cleared, and the mixing valve in the one restroom is bad. And there's probably debris plugging the inlets on the toilets fill lines as well. Still got lots of air in here. That is wide open. Sounds like the air is slowing down, so I'm going to shut this off before we get the low pressure warning again, the F09. I'm going to kill it off. Pressure tank is adjusting. That is spraying again, which will cause us problems. I'm going to go bleed the lines up front. You can bleed those lines back here on the mop sink. Turn that one on. Oh, it's off over here, that's right. Once those are bled, we can shut the hot off once it's bled. Alright, so we're going to shut the hot off and see if it's cold. There's nothing blocking the inlet. We had the mop sink faucet off. We had the handle off and the stem. There's nothing blocking it right now. Water is flowing out of it just fine. So unless the blockage is somewhere up into the neck of this, which we couldn't see. Go ahead and shut that off. I'm going to bleed the other line. This is the one with the mixing valve that's bad. We're going to try and bypass that. So, alright, we are running cold. We are running hot. I bypassed the mixing valve. Put on two 3/8 inch to 3/8 inch supply lines, bypass the mixing valve, and now we have hot and cold. So there's a cascade of problems due to the well running dry, having air in the system.